Hey, welcome to the conversation that's as diverse as the dogs that we adore. This is Gundogs and Guard Dogs, ultimate podcast dedicated to talking sense about dogs with Les Graham and Ross McCarthy. They work with all breeds of dog, but one specialises in gun dogs and the other prefers guard dogs. No flashy trends or social media hype here, just tried and true knowledge that stands the test of time. They bring you valuable insights and honest conversations about the social predator you share your home with. So here we go. About 45 minutes of gun dogs, guard dogs, good dogs, some maybe not so good dogs, and a dash of gossip.
Excellent. Here we go again then, just as I've taken a mouthful of water.
I know I was waiting for you to say something. I was like waiting, come on, Ross, you're going to say something. I hadn't pressed the record button. That was a good start.
Yeah. Oh, well, how are you doing anyway?
Just as I was about to take a swig of coffee.
Should have done this beforehand, really, shouldn't we?
We should have got ourselves organised beforehand, shouldn't we? Took to a bits in and had a drink, and I'm good.
What bits you got hanging out then?
My jumper. That was personal.
That's good. How's the weather up there? Snowing?
No, it's not. It's not. It's very cold. It was frosty this morning. The ground was white with frost this morning.
Oh, nice. That's good. Nice clean dogs, unlike here.
I think so. Kenny walked them this morning for me.
Oh, lazy.
I know. I've been in meetings. And getting caught up and stuff. So yeah, he took the dogs for a walk, but it was really lovely. Beautiful out there.
No, nice. It's not so beautiful here. It's rainy and wet today.
All day?
It's not raining now, but it's raining all morning, and yeah, apparently rain again later on. It just coincides, with dog walking times. That's when it rains.
Always just. Have you not changed around your times? Do you not like walk between raindrops?
Between the raindrops? No.
I do.
Do you? No, I don't. I go out first thing so they can all go to the toilet and stuff. So no, I go out and just get wet. I don't actually mind too much. It's just the coming home bit with wet dogs, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I find I check the weather first thing in the morning, and then I'll either let the dogs go to the toilet in the garden, and then feed them at 7, feed them, and then walk between rain.
Yeah.
Or if it's a nice day, then I'll get up and get out with them at 7:30 instead.
Yeah. No. Well, my iPhone.
We're adaptable.
I look at my iPhone, and that's very unreliable because I plan around that, and then it's completely wrong.
Funny. Can you hear Kenny sneezing?
No, I thought you farted.
No, it was Kenny sneezing, honest. Honest, my lord.
Wasn't going to mention it.
Okay, no, I could hear it. It was really loud. And I just need to put the lid on my pen, otherwise it'll dry up when we're talking. Do you still write with that fountain pen I got you?
I've got a few. No. Is it refillable? Was it refillable?
This one is, yeah, it's lovely. And actually, I ordered a green one with some green ink, and I ordered a red one with some red ink.
Oh, cool. No, I don't use that, but I've still got to buy those fiber tip ones.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, they're nice, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm hooked on writing with fountain pens at the minute. I'm getting in with my inner author.
I don't do a lot of writing, do you? People don't write much these days.
I still write.
Yeah, I write a bit. I write in my diary. I don't write too many letters or anything, do you?
No. Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, sometimes. And I write a journal most days. I do a little bit of journaling on the night time.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Handwriting that. But I keep thinking about penning a book, like properly penning.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, I've kind of started it, but it's the kind of thing, it's the first thing that gets put to one side.
What's the point in that then?
Getting in touch with your creative side, darling.
No. At least you can't.
It's really it's something really nice about writing. Neil Gaiman, the author who writes with Terry Pratchett, he handwrites everything. And do you know Margaret, lovely Margaret Ormond Smith?
Mm-hmm.
She handwrites her books,
And then someone has to copy those.
then she types them in.
She types them in.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, what a bore.
Well, I didn't say that to her, but yeah, it's a thing. It just really, there's something about writing. It's part of who we are. You know, I mean, when you think about the keyboards, when you've got the lovely typewriter. I've got a second typewriter now.
Yeah.
You think, I mean, my new typewriter, was from 1927. So if you look at that, we've only really been typing for the last, 100 and something year, whereas we've been writing a lot longer.
Yeah, well, we didn't really type really up until what, 30 years ago? We didn't really, like obviously when I was at school and stuff, I think we had one computer in some room somewhere, but we didn't, we didn't.
They weren't invented when I was at school.
No, but that was black and white days, wasn't it? But
yeah, the world was still in black and white. There was no Technicolor then.
yeah, no, I think we had one computer that nobody could, didn't touch it or look at it, and but we used to have to write. We wrote everything. We wrote everything. We wrote everything.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's how it was, isn't it? We had to write everything down off the blackboard, and if you weren't paying attention, you got smacked on the head with a blackboard rubber being thrown across the room at you.
Yeah, or a ruler around the back of your head.
It was around the back of the girls' legs. The teachers used to get the back of the girls' legs with the rulers.
Yeah, we had it on our hands. If you were naughty, you'd get wiped on your hands.
What with the ruler?
A wooden ruler. Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Did you make that wow noise with the ruler on the desk? Do you know what I'm on about? You'd hold the
Yeah.
ruler and you'd whack it and then you'd move
Yeah.
it in and out.
Yeah, that'd get you a whack round around the back of my head.
Oh yeah.
No, do you write thank you letters for your Christmas gifts and stuff?
No, I don't.
No, poor show.
You don't either. You don't even say thank you.
I don't even say thank you, let alone write it. No, but it's nice that people do, isn't it? Occasionally you get a nice handwritten letter.
My friends do. Iris always writes a thank you letter, and Jill always writes a thank you letter. And
Yeah.
I always say to Jill when I get a thank you letter, God, you're so well brought up.
Yeah. It just makes you feel guilty though, doesn't it?
Mm. So well brought up. Yeah, and I keep thinking, oh, wouldn't it be lovely to write thank you letters? And I don't.
No, it's nice. It is
I
nice.
send a text. Does that count?
I'm not sure. I don't think it does. Well, I don't know. Maybe these days. Well, to be honest with you, like birthdays and stuff, like cards and Christmas cards, people send you like just text messages now, don't they? They don't send you a card. They just happy birthday.
I do.
You do. Well, I like to think people don't, because I get like one birthday card and then 500 texts.
From me. I spent ages looking for birthday cards. I found some fantastic ones actually. They're before we got into dog stuff, they're like the horrible histories almost. I don't know if I've sent you one. There's a brilliant one going back to oh God, what was it? The thingy tapestry where Harold got an arrow in his eye.
I was going to say bio tapestry, but that's not
No,
it.
it's not. It's not. Oh, I forgot it. Anyway, so do you know 1066? The Battle of Hastings.
Battle of Hastings,
you got the arrow in his eye. Okay, so they're running along and there's the tapestry, and the card looks like the tapestry, and he's running along. He's got this arrow in his eye, and it's gone. Should go into Specsavers. And there's another one where same kind of look about it.
Yeah.
And the guy's in the stocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the caption is, "If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands." They're really sick, aren't they?
Yeah, I saw some really cool Valentine's cards, but can't talk about those on here, but they were really cool, really funny.
Did they have your favourite word in them?
I don't think they did actually. No, I don't think they did, but no, they're funny. Oh dear.
So, what you been up to this week? Last fortnight?
This week,
There's a lot of stuff going on in the dog world, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the dog. I mean, I've been doing a bit of stuff getting ready for Crufts, which is coming up ever so soon. And And equally, yeah, seeing clients and things like that and paperwork. Few, press inquiries and phone calls and things like you do when you have another incident in the press with a dog. I think they phone around and you get lots of, inquiries wanting you to talk and explain why incidents happen and things. So it's yeah, it's all a bit grim, isn't it? The XL bully ban has kind of come into force now. So
And it's in Scotland now as well. I think
yeah.
I can't remember how long they've got in Scotland to get registered because we were a month behind England, so England and Wales brought it in, didn't they? And then from the 1st of February, the dogs have to be on the register.
It's a bit of a nightmare because you had a lot of dogs, a lot of people bought or took their dogs from England to Scotland because there was no ban. So now Scotland has those dogs as well to deal with.
Would do, and there was a it wasn't a fatality, thank goodness, but there was a bully attack in Callum Street, actually
Oh
in
wow.
Hamilton. Yeah.
It's quite scary, isn't it?
And
I don't know.
the dog
Did
was, the dog was tasered and the dog had to be shot because it wouldn't
yeah.
let go. It was completely locked on. And the thing is, with the tasers and stuff just fire up the adrenaline, don't they?
Mm, yeah. I think did you see the interview with the owner of the XL Bully that killed it was the grandmother of his
Was it Esther?
that's it. And that was her
Yeah.
name, yeah.
Yeah.
She was looking after the dogs, two adult XL bullies, male and female, and I think four or six young
Yes,
their kind of
six,
offspring.
because the bitch had 13 and they only rehomed. They didn't rehome all of them. There was quite a few puppies left. He couldn't sell them. He couldn't move them on.
No, they had
And
those.
he's a rapper, isn't he? And he was quite outspoken about the ban before the ban came in,
Yeah.
saying it was all hyperbole and just not really. It was scaremongering. And that interview, because you sent me a link to it the other day, and um it was just spine chilling, wasn't it? It
Mm.
was awful to watch, and you just can't imagine. Um, you can't imagine the young boy to witness it. It's just,
No, that's horrendous, isn't it? Thank God he got out of the house.
thank
Um,
God they got the boy out.
mm. No, it's awful. I mean, when talking about it, it kind of obviously we all get our own images in our head, don't we? Of obviously different images and from what he describes and stuff. But no, it just sounds it's just horrendous, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, I saw some comments on it. I don't know whether, lots of people said he's not, it doesn't come across as very genuine or it's, whatever. Um, but obviously it's an awful situation anyway, isn't it? It's
Mhm.
for anybody to experience.
And I think when I mean, I can remember, unless you've stood in front of an aggressive dog, it's quite difficult to comprehend like the sheer power and
Hmm.
energy that comes off the dog, even the little ones. But I can remember the first time a dog really went for me, and thankfully, um, it didn't get me. But I can remember I said to Kenny when I got home, this chocolate Labrador that really went after me years and years ago. I don't think I might have been just after we met. You know where your bladder is. You get that reaction, don't you? It's like it's such a primal feeling as a
Mm.
person when the dog goes for you. Everything about you shouting to get up a tree, get away. Um, you just yeah. It's very
Mm.
difficult to describe, isn't it? The first time you're confronted with a seriously aggressive dog. And we're professionals, we work with them, we're trained
I
in
think,
it.
I suppose
You
over
know,
a period of time you get a little bit, not blasé, but suppose you get a little bit immune to it because we see it so often. But I
yeah,
do remember, when I think I mentioned before on here anyway, I was 18 and I was attacked by a German Shepherd that the RSPCA gave me. And I can still see his teeth going through my arms. So it attacked, like, went through my arms and through my hand. And the saying hot knife through butter. I mean,
yes.
the ease that the German Shepherd's teeth went through my skin and bone
Hmm.
was incredible. And the power of a German Shepherd is nothing compared to the XL Bully.
No,
Do you know what I mean? So,
poundage wise,
no,
nothing.
the bite power of the XL Bully, I don't know what the measurement of that is, but it's not comparable to a German Shepherd. I mean, it's far more intense, the power of those
Mm.
dogs, and the damage that can be done in such a short period of time. The woman didn't stand a chance, did she? Obviously.
No, and getting in the middle of any dog fighting, regardless of size, is never a good idea because they're
No.
so fast. You'll never get out of the way. You'll always be caught in the crossfire, always. But when you're dealing with two powerful dogs, to get in the middle of that, just the sheer weight. I mean, you know what it's like when your dogs turn and that back end hits your knee quick.
Yeah.
It's like it takes you off your feet.
Mm.
To have two dogs doing that is pretty horrific.
No, it is. It's horrendous. The thing that I find quite frustrating is, like, people that own those kind of dogs, they don't, you think these dogs are lovely and whatever, and probably they are largely, but they
Yeah.
don't understand the kind of inherent drives within the dog and the fact that just underneath the surface is this, you know, canine. Do you know what I mean? It's not, yes, I'm sure your dogs are lovely and that, they've met you know, your mother-in-law or whatever before. But equally, if things happen, you need to be aware of the potential, don't you? Which people seem to be very blasé with, but despite, however many fatal dog attacks there have been over the last few years and stuff.
Mhm. And you can't, the relationship with the owner, um, compared to the relationship with somebody who's coming to visit, even if they know the person,
Yeah.
is really different. Like, the relationship with my friends who come, and even my son, when he tells the dogs to stop, they don't always stop.
No, no. And I
You
wouldn't
know,
expect mine to listen to anybody else,
no,
would they?
I have to step in and say, right, that's enough, on your bed, out of the
Mm.
room or whatever, before they calm down enough to actually take notice of what my son's saying.
Yeah. No, I know. I think it's, owning dogs, you have a responsibility, don't you? They're your dogs. They're not, don't belong to other people, your son or everybody else to manage. It's up to you to
Mhm.
manage them when, other people are present. And when you're away, what you do with them when you're away. I wouldn't get my mum to come and stay here and look after my dogs.
No,
They go into kennels and that's that. Or, you know, go
yeah.
to somebody experienced with looking after dogs that know what they're doing, not just, your mate from down the road or a family member, is it?
Mm. No, absolutely. And um, I think well, I've lost my train. I was going to say something and it's gone. No, it's gone. Keep going. That's not like me losing words, is it?
No, that's not like you. Um, no, no, I find the whole thing. I find the whole thing quite scary in the fact that, another dog has added to the Dangerous Dogs Act, banned list, which I never thought would happen. And still, still you're going to have dog attacks, aren't you? There's still, you know, although under the eyes of the Dangerous Dogs Act, under the law, your home is a public place. When you've got
Uh-huh.
visitors, you don't have to keep your dog muzzled, do you? So, I don't know how effective that's going to be. But equally, as I've said to you before, around here, we've got a few XL bullies, not many, thankfully, and probably a lot more dogs that could be classified as type, so to speak. And a lot of those are still unmuzzled, off the lead, whatever. And I saw a guy the other day walking down to we've got this local sort of nature reserve, like just a Tatty field, really, but they call it a nature reserve. He's walking down there with his dog, XL Bully, muzzled and on like a short chain lead. So I thought, oh, he's, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he got to the nature reserve and took the lead off and the muzzle off.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Which is, bizarre. Whether he thinks nobody's looking, nobody notices, nobody knows what dog it is, I don't know. I don't know. Don't get it.
That's awful. And the thing is, we've still had deaths this year as well. And we were talking before the ban came in about how they'll pick other breeds. And I think I said at the time, because you took the mick out of me for not pronouncing it correctly, which was a Cane Corso. You say Cane Corso and I say Cane Corso. And to me, that's going to be the next breed.
Yeah.
It's big, it's powerful, it's scary, and especially, if you've still got like the unscrupulous breeders, and I mean, there's I don't know if he's a vet or if he's an ex-vet in Glasgow, pincing that he has, and when you put pin steers on a Cane Corso, and they look terrifying.
Well, I thought that's illegal to crop their ears.
The next one, it is illegal to crop their ears, but it's still happening.
Oh no, it happens. I know. I mean, most of the XL bullies have got cropped ears, but I don't understand. I don't get how that has even happened, because most of the XL bullies over here were born over here, and a lot of them are cropped ears, and the pocket bullies and all that other whatever. Yeah. How is that? How have they all got cropped ears? It's illegal. So if you can't manage and police that, then how are you going to manage and police?
Well, we haven't got the resources. I mean, it doesn't matter how much they say we're going to do this and we're going to do that. There's no resources and there's no money.
No.
And I mean, I think there's only 2 DLOs in the whole of Scotland.
Is there?
Yeah, dog legislation officer. I think there's only 2 DLOs in the whole of Scotland.
Do you have dog wardens and stuff still?
I don't think so. When we moved to Scotland, the dog started barking, and I went in the kitchen. There was a dog in the kitchen. It let itself in. I don't know how it did it, but there was a dog in the kitchen growling at me. And I managed to get it out. Went and sat down, came back in. The blooming thing was back in the kitchen, cocking its leg. So I managed to get it out. And as I say, it growled at me a few times. I managed to get it out, and it was just hanging around. It was before we had the big fence put in. There was just a little fence, and it kept jumping in the garden. I thought, I've sod this. So I got a slip lead on it, put a slip on it, phoned the police, and I said, look, I need somebody to take this dog. We need a dog warden, because it's let itself in the house. It's roaming, it's growling. I don't know where it comes from, but I need somebody to track this dog down. The vets were closed, couldn't get in touch with the vets to see if it was microchipped. And then managed to find a dog walker. They told me where the dog belongs. So I took the dog in the car, went up, dumped the dog with the owner, and then half an hour later, 2 policemen turned up.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You didn't get that around here.
No, they were very naughty, because they turned up and they went, right, we're here to seize the dog. And I went like, you're not. Anyway, it's not here anymore, but actually you're not. So, but they were just joking. They just laughed at me, and I said, well, that wasn't very funny really, but thank you for coming up to see where the dog was. But there was no mention of a dog warden. I don't know is the answer.
No, there are very few. There are very few now, if any, aren't there?
Between.
Yeah, there used to be. I mean, that was that's who you'd phone, isn't it? Your dog warden. But
always phone the dog warden.
There isn't. Not around now. But no, there's like
they're part of the social welfare department or something now. So you phone them, and then you talk to somebody. But they don't come out. I don't think they come out. Although I did tell somebody to find this interesting. I did say to somebody to contact the dog warden or the local police rather than 999, the local one. And because her dog was badly attacked and it lost an eye. Her little terrier was attacked twice. The second time it was attacked, it lost its eye. and I mentioned her these little Kevlar jackets. Have you seen them for little
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
dogs?
Yeah, they're
Okay,
cool.
they're very cool. She was told by a policeman that if a dog how's this? If a dog attacked her dog and damaged herself on the Kevlar vest, she could get sued.
Yeah, lovely. I mean, that's just how the law
That
works.
is that is society gone absolutely mad if you put a piece of equipment on your dog to protect it from an aggressive dog and you're going to be liable for
Yeah,
that.
but
So she
that's
didn't get it, and I thought that is ridiculous. You know, your dog's lost its eye. It's going to get attacked probably even more now.
yeah. No, I would. Yeah, Kevlar vest all the way. One of
Kevlar
those
vest.
spiked collars so it can't get near it and all that stuff as well. But
Yeah.
no, that's the way the law works, isn't it, really? It's always about sort of penalising the law abiding, really, and everybody else gets away with it, which is
And
what a massive problem with the XL bully. You know
I
what I
was just
mean?
about to say that it doesn't matter what rules they bring in relation to the Dangerous Dog Act.
No.
The only people who are going to follow them are the law-abiding citizens.
Hmm.
That is it.
Yeah.
Because and we've spoken a lot about how to tackle the bully issue. And I really liked one of the suggestions that you said, which was depending on the size of dog, would depend on the type of training that you had to attend
Yeah, it
before
depends
you
on
were
the
given a
license.
license.
Yeah.
Because I
Mm.
had to attend, as you know, I had to attend a responsible dog ownership course in New Zealand. And I got my little, I'll have to hunt it out, my little pass to say I was a responsible dog owner, which meant I got 50% off my dog license, which was really good because I had two dogs. It was worth doing.
Cool.
But I think what you said was a much better idea, Ross, because you said you have different grades of training depending on the size of the dog, and then
Yeah, I
also
think you should
depending
have
on
different
the
tiers of
breed.
licensing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think if
So
you
go
want
on and
anything,
expand on it.
I just think anybody can have, if you want a dog sort of cocker spaniel size, then anybody can have one of those if you want to go and buy one. But the larger the dog, the more powerful the dog, then you need different levels of license because you need to demonstrate that you've got the experience and the knowledge and the understanding to manage those dogs. So if you want a Cane Corso or, you know, one of the larger breeds, a Bull Mastiff or whatever, then you have to undertake the highest, test and pass that, and then you'll get a license, and then you can go and buy one of those.
Mhm.
But it's like anything, isn't it? The problem is that you've got all these unscrupulous breeders that see a market and churn them out. So the XL Bully, stick it two dogs together and sell them. So if Cane Corso or whatever other breed is
Mhm.
next to be adopted by people that want those kind of dogs, then there'll be people breeding them, won't there? And that'll be on the down low, and you'll be able to go and find one and buy one, and it'll cost you a fortune.
Mhm.
Um, and then we'll be right back where we started with the pit bull issue in '91, won't we?
Well, we won't. We'll be in a worse state because we've now got the bullies in there as well. So we've
Yeah.
got any new breed that comes in, a new breed, any new type that they create to replace the banned XL bully will be on top of the layer of pit bulls that we've got that are on the exemption order, on the exemption register. Although I can imagine by now the pit bulls will be dwindling because they'll have died, allegedly. Um,
Well, they should all be dead, shouldn't they? The ones
they
that were
should all be
originally,
they should all be dead from the original.
yeah. Well, they'll be
So
like 20, won't they now?
yeah, but there's still dogs out there that you could pass as a pit bull or that
Yeah.
has been brought into the country.
Yeah.
And then you've got all the XL bullies that haven't been destroyed now, some that haven't been neutered. You've got the puppies that have just been born in December.
Yeah.
So we've got that layer as well. And then we're going to have this new, whatever it is they decide to work with, coming in as well.
Yeah. I know. I mean, they're forever fiddling about trying to create more aggressive breeds, aren't they? Do you remember the band dog? That was years ago. That was I think, a mix between a pit bull. I can't remember what the combination was, but yeah, it's called a band dog.
No.
But people now they've got Presa Canarios and all sorts of stuff. They're kind of,
Yeah.
mating with various breeds and things. I mean, when you see some of these dogs that come into like rescue and things, that
Yeah. No, they're really scary, aren't they?
yeah, it's horrendous what people do.
And a lot of it is just like you look at it's the size of the dog as well, isn't it? It's just the sheer force, as you say, the poundage of the dog's jaw is
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah. No, it is, and it's people don't, like I said to you before, people just don't realize, they don't understand what they've got. They think because it presents as friendly and social on the surface and has done for the last 18 months or 2 years or whatever, and it likes the kids, that's not your guarantee. That's not your job done, and that dog you've got. You only need a change in circumstances to see a different aspect of your dog,
Mhm.
and you
Mhm.
need to be prepared for that and manage that, don't you?
Definitely. And I think any dog in the right situation will bite,
Yeah.
pretty much. Any dog will bite in the right situation.
Well, that's all part of their armor, isn't it? It's all part of their repertoire. They've got it. That's what dogs do. And you know, when you've got powerful dogs like that and you've got multiple dogs, then accident waiting to happen, isn't it, really?
It is, and I do want to stress the accident bit as well, because there's a lot of XL bullies in the country, a lot of XL bullies in the country that temperamentally are fairly sound, and I'll say fairly sound. I won't say completely sound, because no, I don't think any dog's completely sound, but
No.
that are fairly sound.
Yeah.
And there's the minority aren't, the
I
majority
do
are.
think, I mean, I do
But
think, go on. Yeah,
the
go on.
sheer size of the dog, the thing, I mean, I don't know if you can see, I've got a scratch on my chin here off
Yeah.
Emerus. It was it's almost gone now. It's quite pronounced. Um, I was just sitting on the floor having a game with them, and he stretched and he just went straight up my face and cut
Mhm.
my face. And you then multiply his 29 kilograms, double it. Even the gentlest dogs can do a lot of damage with the wrong person, with children. Like if that had happened with a bigger dog and I was a kid, then that's my face scarred for life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So there's that element of it as well. So put two dogs together and you get in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Um,
And
that's
yeah,
trouble.
and you do. I mean, obviously, when you've got, a group of dogs, pack of dogs, whatever, then they also behave differently and trigger each other, don't they?
You do. I still remember very clearly that film we play for the dog safety education executive of the
Yeah.
lady in the snow with the
Hmm.
red jacket on, isn't it? Red
Yeah.
coat on. She's walking and she's got a handbag and she's walking along, and a pack of street dogs get hold of her. And she's walking. You see them going that classic pincer action, don't you? So you have the whole divide and conquer. So you had a couple of them go in front of her, barking at her, and a couple of them went behind. One of them nipped a bum, the other one grabbed hold of the handbag.
Hmm.
When she was screaming, and as she turned her back on them, again, they went in that classic pincer movement. One came around one side, one came around the other side. And then this guy came along with a snow shovel and started bashing the dogs with snow shovel to get them off her. But you see that kind of formation on walks with people with packs. And
Hmm.
even with two dogs, one will go around one side and one will come to the front. And it's just it's a classic predator on the
Yeah.
hunt maneuver, isn't it? You see it. There's
Mm.
loads of videos of wolves doing it, where
I
they're
see it with my dogs. That's
pushing down.
just the eye contact, just them looking at each other. If one of them sees something, they'll look at the other one, and the other one look at that one. Then they'll all be looking, then all be looking at the same. Do you know what I mean? That's their
The
communication.
market, definitely. It's like
Yeah.
you say to your dog, you put a sweetie up on the bench and you say, what do you want? And the dog will immediately look at the sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. No, if they see like a squirrel or something, one of them will look, and the others will know that one's just seen something. So they're all kind of,
Or look on it.
yeah, they're
There
all
it
like
is.
looking at each other. They know what's going on, don't they? They communicate that. But
Communicate through the gaze.
yeah, no, I think people are far too lackadaisical, I think, with their dogs, just far too trusting,
I,
I suppose.
I think they are. And there was let me see, there was a study done. Let me find it for you. There was a study done in 2018 on dog bite incidents that were at hospital, that were reported.
Hmm.
And the number of adults being bitten now is outweighing the number of children.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is, it's my fur baby, I'm the guardian, it's my baby, they dress them up. And I think a lot of it is we've lost respect for the animal that shares our home.
Yeah.
And I think if people respected the dog for what it is, which is, an opportunistic social predator, they wouldn't be walking around calling it a fur baby. And they
No.
wouldn't be dressing it up. They wouldn't be, and we've just completely lost respect for the species that shares our home. And then it bites you, and then all of a sudden, it's, well, for us, we go, well, what do you expect? You're treating the dog like a baby. And it's not a
Yeah.
baby. At some point, the dog is going to say to you, get off me. And the only way it knows how is with its teeth.
Yeah. And you see, I mean, you don't have, I mean, I've seen a few, I don't, I mean, you're just saying about the XL bully about, the majority of them being nice. I think, I like them as a breed, I don't have a problem with the XL bully, whether there's some kind of genetic component through that Kimbo line or whatever it is, I don't know. I haven't done enough research into it. Um, but I do think when you see people like XL bully owners and stuff doing interviews on the TV, telling you how wonderful they are, it's always a certain type of person that you wouldn't sell a dog to in the first place.
Uh-huh.
And the dog is on the sofa. They've always got young kids running about. And I just think that is not cool. It doesn't matter whether your dog's got a nice temperament or not. You don't have your dog on the sofa when you've got young kids running about. You
No,
have to have rules and structure and boundaries. I mean, last time my stepdad came over, he said, "Oh, I'm going to get on the floor with the dogs." Like, absolutely not.
not with
What,
three Rotties, you don't.
what planet are you on? You want to sit on the floor with three Rottweiler? Are you out of your head? I mean, it's just because people don't understand sort of the ramifications of their actions. Yes, the dogs are
No,
pleased to see you. Do they want you to sit on the floor? Don't think so, mate. No, that's not happening. But
no.
it's just I think it's a lack of respect for the dog and equally just a lack of understanding of what they have really. People buy something because they want it and that's it, because I can.
Yeah. And I mean, it's human nature. We treat people the way we want to be treated. And
Mm,
so we treat dogs the way we would want to be treated, not the way a dog needs to be treated. That doesn't mean people, as soon as they say that, people go, oh, that means you've got to be really hard on the dog. No, it doesn't.
no, it doesn't.
You have to honor the energy of the animal in front of you. And, I did, like, when I was a kinesiologist, I did extensive work with prey animals and I did extensive work with predators. And the energy that you take into the stable to work on a prey animal is very different to the energy you sit on a stool with a predator with.
Yeah,
They've got
yeah,
completely different intrinsic behaviors. They've got different responses to pain. And you have to go in and you have to honor that energy. Because if I went in and treated a horse the way I would treat a dog, I'd be getting kicked out of the stable.
yeah. Of course you would.
It's you, and I think that's missing. People or or can be indulgent of themselves and say, but I want to sit with the dog on my lap.
Yes.
I'm walking down the street and I want to stroke your dog.
Yeah, it's all about me. I know. Someone said to me the other day, said, "Oh, I'm coming. If I'm reincarnated, I want to come back as a dog." And I thought that would be the last thing I want to come back as, because when I look at the way people treat their dogs, even through, meaning to be kind, they're under exercised, they've got no communication with the dog. It's all just vague nonsense. They cuddle the dog, and then when the dog does something they don't want to do, they shout at it because they're annoyed with it, but the dog doesn't understand because they've not taught it. It's just, it's a mess. And a lot of
It is
people
a
that you
mess.
look at, a lot of clients you look at, a lot of friends that own dogs, whatever, I would not want to be your dog. Do you know what I mean? You think you're being lovely, but nah, you're not treating the dog as a
No,
dog. It's not appropriate behavior. And no, I wouldn't want to live in your house as a dog. Thanks very much.
no. And I don't know if you've seen it. I saw it on TikTok a little while ago. I think she had well, I don't even know what breed it was. I don't know what breed it was. But there's this, if you haven't seen it, I'll send it to you. And part of me, do you know when you get that conflicting response when you see something? So part of me,
whether it's cute or whether it's horrific, that kind of thing.
No, part of me burst out laughing and thought, that is absolutely hysterical, her response. And the other part of me thought, that is absolutely horrific. Okay. So there was this girl, and social media, why on earth would you stand in the kitchen crying and snotting on a phone? Okay, so she was crying and snotting.
Because that's how we roll in 2024, and that's what people do.
That's how we roll. We cry and snot all over social media. So she was crying and snotting. And it was like, my dog has just killed a bunny. Oh my God. Oh my God, my dog's just killed a bunny. I will never love it again. And so part of me thought, part of me laughed and thought, this is absolutely pathetic.
Yeah.
And the other part of me thought, what has happened to dog ownership? We are not looking at the dog as a social predator. You know, if you don't train your dog not to hunt, chase and kill rabbits, they will hunt, chase and kill rabbits.
Yeah.
Full stop. If there's not if you don't put a consequence in to stop them doing it, they will do it.
Yeah.
And this woman was like, I'm never going to stroke my dog again. I don't love her. She's killed a bunny. It's a bunny.
I know. It's just drives me mad.
Really?
I know. You see it all the time, don't you? I mean, dogs have like a blueprint of behaviour, don't they? Because they're dogs. They come wired with canine behaviours, one of which is predation and killing and grabbing and whatever. And, you know, that's inherent within the dog.
If you don't feed them, they will feed themselves.
Yeah, they're wired up for it.
I'm gonna quote my new book.
Okay.
Okay, my new book opens with.
What's that called again, that book, by the way?
That's called The Well-Mannered Dog.
Oh, nice.
Out on the 1st of March. And I'm doing a book signing with you at Crufts.
Good to know.
Good to know. So, and this to me really sums the dog up, you know. My book starts with, there are some dogs which, when you meet them, remind you that despite thousands of years of man-made evolution, every dog is only 2 meals away from being a wolf.
Yeah.
And I think that was Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett who wrote Good Omens. It's from the Good Omens book. And you think, if you don't feed your dog, it will go feral, it will go and it'll hunt, it'll eat. And people say they don't, but they do.
They do. Well, lots of dogs. I mean, when owners die in the house, lots of dogs eat their owners, don't they? Because they need to survive. Do you know what I mean?
They need to survive. There's no principles in the dog. It's a dog-eat-dog world, isn't it? That's where it comes from.
Well, they're dogs, aren't they? They're dogs. I was thinking yesterday, actually, I was thinking about my young dog here, he's like 12 months now. When I had him, I picked him up from the breeder, and I think the following day I gave him a bath because he's a little bit pongy.
You give him a bath, not a bath.
Gave him a bath, and I gave him a bath upstairs in the bathroom. Yeah. Anyway, so I gave him a bath, which is cool. And then I dried him off with a towel. So I put a towel over him. So bearing in mind I had him a day or whatever, probably less than 24 hours, I suspect. Can't really remember. And dried him off. And as I dried him, he became really kind of aggressive, trying to bite me and stuff. And which, you know, why would you not? You don't know me. But equally, I was thinking that is inherent within the dog. Do you know that's an inherent response within the dog to something that he didn't like or didn't understand or was frightening, or whatever it was, whatever emotion there was at that time? That's an innate response to cope with that.
Yeah.
It's in the dog, isn't it? So, you know, he's a lovely dog. He's a lovely social dog, and I can bath him and brush it and dry him, whatever. But inherent within the dog, there's that coping mechanism that can come out at any point.
But when you think about it, your pup, had just come out of a litter.
Mm-hmm.
How many was in his litter?
Don't know. 10, 11?
8. That's normally it's about 11 with the Rotties, isn't it?
Sometimes I've quite a lot. I think it's about 10 or 11, yeah.
Okay, so he's in a litter with 9 siblings. Okay. One of them comes over and acts inappropriately with them. The only thing he can do is bite and say, get off me. This isn't appropriate behavior for me. And that's how he would be talking with his siblings. So then we bring them home and we do that. And the dog responds how it would with its siblings, and it'll turn you and it'll bite you. Now, you probably told him off.
I didn't actually. I didn't
Did you
do.
not?
I didn't do a big. No, not a big deal. I carried on
You
doing.
just went or something like
I
that.
just kind of carried on doing what I was doing. Really, kept my hands out the way and held his collar and just did what I needed to do. Yeah,
But you did it matter of factly.
yeah,
Okay, so in an experienced zone, I would have went
yeah.
and then that would have fired it up even more, and they would then have become worried about touching the dog. I mean, we say this all the time, don't we?
Yeah,
You
just
can't groom a
boom,
dog
boom, boom,
because the
boom.
dog bites them, so the dog
Yeah.
learns really quickly the way to stop them from doing what they don't want them to do is to bite, and then
Yeah.
it escalates, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. No, it does, and it's very effective, isn't it? So therefore, it increases quite quickly and then spreads to other areas. So we can't groom it, we can't brush it, we can't touch it when it doesn't want to be touched. We can't go near
Can't
it
get
when
it off the
it's empty.
settee.
Can't get it off the furniture. Can't have grandma around anymore. All of that stuff. Because the dog learns this is great, and I can utilize this behavior in all of these other situations as well to achieve what I
Get my
want.
own way. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
What I want in those situations as well. But no, I just think the dogs are pre-programmed to that. So, if that's what the dogs have learned in the litter, and sometimes when puppies have been kept in a litter longer than maybe they should have been,
Yeah.
they really intensify their with each
Bite.
other. Yeah. And so they've got that in their armory. So why, when you go around, when you've got your dogs that have got their puppies in the living room and the puppies are having a fight and you go piling in to stop them, the
They're
dogs
going to turn around and bite you.
get off my pup, get off. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And they've got that. That's in their repertoire to use, and that's what people forget. Just because your dog hasn't ever bitten anybody or hasn't showed it's still got it. It's there. It's able to. It's got the teeth. It's got the drive to do that. Should the need arise?
Yeah. And I had similar with the little Vizsla. The owners, I went out to do a puppy package with it, and then I got a phone call to say that the dog, like that they took the dog puppy was doing something they didn't want it to do, so they'd forgotten to put the little house line on the garden. They went out, they got hold of the collar, and the dog bit them. Okay, puppy bit them. So good old Cesar Milan, they flipped the puppy, and that was it. All hell broke loose.
It all kicks off now. Yeah.
It all kicked off, and so I went back to see it, and it's kind of the only one that's seriously drawn blood on me. So I went out, touched its collar. Well, it completely went off the charts, didn't it? And
well, Vishans do when they do it. Yeah.
oh, she did, but I couldn't let her go.
No.
Because if I'd let go of her collar, she would have learned to escalate.
Yeah.
Still got blooming bite marks on my arm off that, and but you can't let go because you're just teaching them at that point that if I'd let go, then the aggression would have escalated really quickly.
Yeah.
And you have to just, as you did with your puppy, hold on the collar and do what you need to do. And I just had to do what I needed to do, which was wait until she calmed down and stopped.
Yeah. I see it a lot. I mean, it's a shame because I see lots of clients for like resource guarding or whatever, and they wait until it's got to such a point where it's a thing, real problem.
Yeah.
Instead of just, if you just dealt with that when it was 8 weeks old and doing it, if you just dealt with it then, would be cool. But you haven't. The dog's been on a learning curve ever since.
Yeah.
And now we're at a right state of, high level aggression over resources.
And working against as soon as you're working against learned behaviour, then you're then into neuroscience really. You're then having to look at changing the brain, the pathways in the brain.
Yeah, which is not easy.
Which is not easy at all.
No, it's not. And obviously the longer the behaviour's been exhibited, the more frequently, then the harder it is often to reform, isn't it?
To deal with it. Yeah. So going back to the bully ban, what's happening in England with it? everything has to now either be on the register or destroyed. Is that right now?
Yeah, I think
I'm out
so.
of touch with the English law.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's still some dogs that don't have to be neutered yet, do they? If they're below a certain age, and
Yeah,
they've
they've
got
got to
sort
get
of,
over, is it 11 months or
I can't
something? I'll
remember.
quickly look it up.
Yeah, I can't remember. But I know there's a vast amount being registered, isn't there? I can't remember the figures. Huge amount of XL bullies have been registered, but I'm sure there's a lot more that haven't been registered. I'm sure there are a lot of people that don't even know whether, don't even know what's going on. I was overheard a conversation in the local pet store the other day about a bloke. He had some kind of big staffy type dog with him, wheelchair user he was, just chatting to the girl on the desk, and he was saying, "Do you reckon it looks like an XL bully? Should I muzzle it?" She was like, "Oh, I don't really know." You think, well, it's not really down to the girl in the pet shop, is it? But you need to look at you know,
It was something interesting Kenny said the other day because Dante was standing in the kitchen and he dropped his head. You know how now when you go in the room and they just drop the head down like that?
Mhm.
And Kenny said, "Don't stand like that, Dante. You're starting to match the type."
Oh yeah,
Because they say the head's dropped and muscular shoulders. Well, Danny was standing there and he'd locked onto something in the kitchen. I don't know what it was, probably a bit of food or something.
yeah,
And Kenny just said, "Don't look like that. You're the right height. You're the right, And
yeah,
it's true. It's all done on typing, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's just an opinion, isn't it? If
It's
the
an
dog fits the
opinion.
standard, if it's the right height, and you think it's got the right ear carriage or whatever else, then
If if in doubt, get it registered. In England at the minute, um, it says that if the dog's less than a year old on the 31st of January, it's got to be neutered by the 31st of December. And if it's older than one on the 31st of January, it needs to be neutered before the 30th of June
yeah,
and registered with DEFRA.
yeah.
And then you've got the muzzle and the lead. And it can't be walked by anybody under 16,
Fair, nor should any dog.
nor should any dog. Um,
Says me trotting around with a load of dogs when I was 8.
I know I used to walk Lassie when I was I discovered horses when I was 7. I think I was about 8 when I stopped walking her.
Yeah,
And then, I mean, I got Kim when I was 13. Kim was my
yeah.
dog. She went everywhere with me.
No, I used to walk five or six dogs.
You're very naughty. In Scotland, let me see. In Scotland, it is because we've just caught up. So the deadline for exempting a XL bully is the 31st of July in Scotland.
Okay.
And there's a has the CFBA got anything on the website about the bullies?
I'm not sure, but what they have done, they've worked with the Pet BC, Pet Education Training Behaviour Council, and submitted some documents to DEFRA
Yeah, I
about,
saw that.
oh, you saw that? Yeah,
Yeah,
just about kind of possible, well, the way that things should probably be managed better. But like we've said, we go around in circles, don't we? You know, people say that education is the key, and that was kind of our tagline with Dog Safety Education Executive, wasn't it? But people don't want to be educated. Do you know
they
what I mean?
don't.
Like, they don't want to be educated. The people that are responsible, they've got an XL bully, it's a nice dog, and they've gone and they've done what they need to do. And sadly, the dog has a pretty rubbishy old life, in a muzzle and on a lead, unless people, are hiring secure fields and things like that to give the dogs
Mhm.
decent quality of life. But that's the decent, honest people. Everybody else don't care, do they? Just
Yeah,
crack on with what they're doing. If the dog gets seized on the street, which is very unlikely, I should suspect, then so be it.
and I mean the site that I've just looked at because it's not. I've just checked the CFBA site. It's not there. There's nothing there. Was the Blue Cross? Out of the different rescues I think it was Blue Cross is pretty good. So it's on there anyway. There's a thing on there which tells you all about the ban
Okay.
in layperson's terms, which is
No,
much
that's
better than looking at the government website.
yeah. Yeah, there's lots of information, isn't there? But
Yeah.
like I said, people have got to want to read it, haven't they? Want to be interested or care really.
Yeah, which is really sad. I mean the bite stats are going up. Is everybody probably knows they've hit the record high. Have you got any of the bite stats there?
I did have some bite stats, but what you just reminded me of actually, saying about the well, fatalities have gone up, haven't they? Bite rates have gone up. And there in the news lately, there's been about it's down to punitive dog training methods and things like that that have caused an increase in, poor behavior and bites and things like that, which is absolutely the opposite of what's happened.
Yeah.
The cause of that is people treating them like fur babies, not treating them like dogs and not doing proper dog training. They do stupid stuff instead of a harness and a bit of cheese.
It would be really good to look at that study at some point on the podcast, I think.
Yeah, we can do that. We've got that study. We can have a look.
Yeah, I think it would be good to go through it properly because I know from some of the studies that I did when I was at uni, and I'm back at uni, as you know, I'm back at uni now. But some of the studies I did on uni were quite shocking, and
Yeah.
that I come across. There was one particular one particular bit of research where I saw the unpeer reviewed research. So what the researcher had actually done, okay, and the research that you found was good. It was good research. And then when it was peer reviewed prior to publication, the person who peer reviewed it was went down the positive only side, and she highlighted the positives of in the research. There was it was like this kind of training is beneficial for a dog, and it was actually common sense, using consequences did show some positive results in training. The person who peer reviewed it told her to take it out prior to publication. When it was published, it was all in favour of positive only training and against any kind of compulsion, coercive, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Sensible.
See, all of that.
That was shocking because that completely changed the slant of the research. Yeah. The research itself was pretty good. The peer reviewer changed it.
Did you not see? I don't know if you saw. I think it was Jamie Penrith shared at some science ages ago. The main study that the e-collar was going to be banned is going to be banned.
I took it apart as part of my research.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I wrote an article on it. Yeah.
Well, it's just nonsense. Well, you can put that in the show notes then for people to read, because it's just watching it. I mean, it's bizarre, but it's just not. Well, I don't know. People just write what they want you to read, I suppose, don't they? It's not.
Yeah, true. He shared. It was the video he shared, wasn't it? Where did you see the video where the person who was doing the study said that in relation to using e-collar training on the sheep, the trainers who did the positive only training, they couldn't let the dogs off the long line around the sheep without an e-collar on. And he's got a video of the researcher saying that.
Yeah.
I haven't got that. I'll see if I can find it and put it that video. I'll see if I can find it and put a link to Jamie Penrith's page.
Yeah. I didn't see that, but what I did see was that kind of the group that were being trained positively, so to speak, without the use of any aversion. They were all really unhappy dogs on a load of equipment and lines and harnesses and everything else, whereas the other dogs were not.
It was skewed research. I mean, we can go through it if you want. It'd be good to go through that, and also,
well, we can do those two studies on the same time, can't we?
There's another one as well. The dominance, the one that Bradshaw did years ago, Dominance in Dogs. That one, and he did it at the Dogs Trust on 19 neutered males, and it was all based on what. Right, okay, so. That was revisited. That study was revisited in 2014. So there's a study called. I'll send it to you. Like, so
when did he do it originally? Then a lot longer ago than that. Then I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, the one in 2014 was the study was done in 2014, and I think it's called Dominance in Dogs Revisited, and it takes apart the study. I mean, that study wasn't peer reviewed. It was put out without any kind of peer review taking place. but the study that goes through it, it's very interesting reading.
No,
Because
good.
I did that. This is what I did on my research 2 years ago.
Oh, cool. It'd be interesting to see that because I mean, that study was ridiculous to start with. I mean, try doing it with, a group of entire male Akitas. Maybe that would give us. But wouldn't that give you a better overview of dominance?
It, and even like a couple of entire males in there, a bitch in there, a bone in there, chuck a bone in the
Not
middle
golden
and see what happens.
retrievers.
It's ridiculous.
Not golden retrievers either. I know loads of people that live with a pack of golden retrievers. They tend to be very kind of mellow, chilled dogs. You know what I mean? I know a bloke who I used to work with, he had like 15 of them in his house. They were completely chilled, no problem. Don't know anybody that's got 15 Akitas running about.
No, I know. Some of the science that has been done around dogs is absolutely ridiculous.
It's all just rubbish, isn't it? I don't know. Oh, it's just rubbish. It's quite frustrating as well because it's out there, isn't it? And it's kind of peer reviewed and therefore it's factual. And it's not. It's rubbish. But science
The
says.
stuff that I found on the harnesses, you wouldn't believe. Harness manufacturers paying for studies to be done. And funnily enough, the study came out in favour of the harness. So, well, of
Funny
course it
that.
would. You're bankrolling it.
Well, it's like dry pet food, isn't it? Processed pet food. You know what I mean? Go and do a study on health and longevity of dogs and see how we get on with that. Oh yeah, dry food's best. Oh yeah, okay. Some company paying for that then, some dry food company paying for that research then.
It is madness. It's there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money in the dog world.
There's a lot of corruption.
I mean, when you think of how many dogs we've got in this country, that's a lot of harnesses and a lot of dog leads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a lot of dog food as well, isn't it?
It's a lot of dog food. A lot of dog food. I'm looking for the numbers. I mean, it's in my new book actually.
Oh, your new book? What's your new book called, Len?
The Well-Mannered Dog.
Oh, right.
Because owning a dog should be a joy.
Is that coming out soon then, is it?
1st of March.
Right.
1st of March. And I'm going to do a book signing as well.
Oh, are you? Where are you doing that?
At Crufts.
Only if you buy me one of those Kit Kats.
Already got you one.
Yeah.
Might even have got you two.
I saw them the other day on like a reel on Facebook or YouTube or something. And yeah, you can only get them in Scotland. What are they? Honeycomb Kit Kat.
Honeycomb Kit Kat.
Only in Scotland.
What stand are you on?
4109. So come and say hello, everybody.
4109. And I shall put that out on social media and you can come and buy a book and get it signed.
Buy a book and get it signed.
Yeah, forget Ross, come and see me.
I'll give you a leaflet.
Oh my goodness. Sorry?
I'll give him a leaflet.
Give him a leaflet. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Got some free leaflets to give away.
So we need, say that again?
I said I've got some free leaflets to give away. I don't know.
I thought you said some freebies. I thought, oh, what freebies are you giving away?
Oh, no,
Not Honeycomb Kit Kats.
No, just free leaflets, and you can have half a Kit Kat if I don't like it.
Okay, so we will we'll plan some journals to go through. What do you reckon?
It's quite interesting, isn't it? We'll do that. Yeah, very cool.
Okay, because the stuff that's on social media, we were looking at the stats before we came on, and in different places where you look, give you different information, and the Office of National Statistics, the ONS, gives you different information, and it's really confusing.
It's very difficult to find, as you said, looking for bite statistics. I mean, it's always been the case looking for. I think there's more registered now than there were, but very difficult to get accurate figures of what's going on and what's happened.
And the census is only as good as the form that people fill in.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure there's lots of things that don't get reported as well, aren't there, obviously? So.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. So will we hunt out some journals and maybe it's next season?
Next season?
4?
What, in season 4?
Season 4.
Season 4, we'll do that, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Cool. Okie dokie.
Mr. McCarthy.
I think are we done on this subject? We were gonna talk about educating people, weren't we? But like we said, people don't want to be educated, so we'll give that a miss.
Yeah, we'll give that a miss. We'll just look at the journals instead.
Yeah.
That's educating, Ross, isn't it?
Well, some people want to be educated, don't they? Just not the ones that need it half the time.
Talking sense about dogs and all that lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Well, have a really good couple of weeks.
Yeah, and you too. Enjoy your snow if you get any.
Yeah. Exciting stuff. I think we're due snow tomorrow. Actually, it is snowing now.
Wow.
How exciting!
Wow. Well, whatever floats your boat.
That does it for me. Bit of snow.
That's it.
Very, very romantic.
Oh, well, it is unless you've got to go anywhere or drive anywhere or do anything, isn't it? Depending on
Snow
how much you have.
angels. Snow angels and clean dogs, you know?
Yeah, that's good. That's always good, isn't it?
Ah.
Right, we'll go and build a snowman. We'll look for pictures on your socials later.
And don't get too wet.
No, I shall try not to.
All right, take it steady.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. It's not just gun dogs and not just guard dogs, but all things canine, as we hope you have discovered. Please like, share and subscribe and help us spread a bit of common sense back into dog ownership. And a review wouldn't go amiss either. Catch up with Les and Ross again in about 14 days for more canine conversations. Until next time, stay well and enjoy your dogs. Any dog-related questions or topics, just drop an email to talk@cfba.uk or message us via facebook.com/Gundogs and Guard Dogs podcast.